the roar that shook doubt, Piṇḍolabhāradvāja. Foremost in the excellent loud voice, Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha declares, Bhikkhus, among my disciples, Piṇḍolabhāradvāja is foremost in proclaiming the Sihanada. Historical note, he attained arahantship during the Buddha's lifetime, lived beyond the parinibbana, and presided at the first Saṅgha council in Rajagaha, as recorded in the Kulavagga Vinaya Pitstaka. He passed away in Rajagaha after a long life of teaching, confirmed in the Apadana and Mahavamsa. Now, let's hear how he earned that title.
It began on the day he became an arahant. He took his bowl and robe, left one monastery and walked toward another, not silently, but with a voice like thunder rolling across the hills. Whoever has doubt concerning the path or fruition, let them ask me. Then he stood before the Blessed One and the entire Saṅgha and declared, with perfect calm, Venerable Sir, the task fitting for one in this dispensation has now been fully accomplished. No boast, no pride, only the unshakable certainty of one who has crossed the flood. And in that moment, the Buddha knew. This monk Sihanada was not mere sound. It was the roar of liberation itself. Born into a Brahmin family of the Karadvaya clan Enajagaha Brahmin nobility in Rajagaha, his name and his humble beginning, he mastered the 3 Vedas, taught 500 students. But then, a turning point, he began accepting alms improperly, eating without mindfulness, perhaps with greed. His students saw it. One by one, they left. And so he came to be called Piṇḍola, the one who sought alms, a name born of humility, not shame. Later, the commentaries tell us another origin. In the Udana Atstakatha, a destitute Brahmin, seeing monks receive abundant offerings, went forth, not for Dhamma, but for food. He carried a large wooden staff, mistaking it for a begging bowl, Pindapata. He ate rice, cakes, even sweets, straight from that staff. The monks reported him. The Buddha, with compassion, permitted the use of a cloth bowl, Sivarapatra. But the story didn't end there. Later, when he stored that cloth bowl under his bed, he pushed it in and pulled it out again and again, until through constant friction it wore thin, so thin it could hold only 1 nali, a tiny measure of rice. Again the monks informed the Buddha, and again he granted permission, not a new rule, but a reaffirmation. Cloth bowls are allowed, even when worn, because the intention matters more than perfection. That was Piṇḍola, flawed, learning, persevering. The king of beasts' devotion, a life before this one, long before Rajagaha, in the time of Buddha Padamuttara. He was born as a king of beasts, majestic sovereign over the forest near a mountain's foot. The Buddha saw him with the divine eye and recognized his potential. After finishing his meal in Hamsavati, he entered the king of beasts' den and, suspended in mid-air, entered Nirodhasamapati. When the king of beasts returned from hunting, he saw the Blessed One seated within and was struck silent. No creature has ever entered my den, yet this man sits here. His radiance fills the cave. I have never seen anyone so extraordinary. Truly, he is the most venerable being in the world. I ought to pay homage to him, according to my ability. So he gathered flowers, water lilies, forest blooms, and laid them like a path from earth to the Buddha's feet. He stood guard, bowing, replacing wilted blossoms with fresh ones, for 7 full days and nights, not out of duty, but out of joy, out of devotion, out of awe. On the 7th morning, the Buddha emerged. The king of beasts circumambulated him 3 times, east, south, west, north, then stepped back and watched the Buddha fly away. Grief overwhelmed him. He died and was reborn in the Mahasala clan in Hamsavati. There, as a human, he visited a monastery with a great crowd, listened to the Dhamma for 7 days, offered lavish gifts, and resolved, I will attain what he attained. After death, he revolved through human and deva realms for 100,000 eons, as stated in Apadana, until finally, in this life, he took robes. Upon ordination, he undertook a kamata sthana, practiced diligently, and soon attained arahantship, complete with the 4 analytical knowledges, patisambhida, the 6 higher knowledges, abhiññā, and he the sihanada everywhere, even before the Buddha's own presence. The monks discussed it. How can he roar so fearlessly even in front of the Blessed One? The Buddha explained, it is because the 3 faculties, mindfulness satta indriya, concentration samadhi indriya, and wisdom panya indriya, have matured and become abundant in him. Thus he confidently declares, birth is ended, the holy life is fulfilled, the task is done. There is nothing further for this world. Anguttara Nikaya, commentary in Paramattha-dipani Lenda. That is why the Buddha formally appointed him, foremost in the faculty of Sihanada. But the most famous moment, the one that reshaped monastic discipline, unfolded like this. Piṇḍolabhāradvāja was walking with Mahamoggalana through Rajagaha. When they saw it, a wealthy merchant had hung a red silk bowl high atop a tall wooden pole, tied with strong roots, and shouted to the crowd, "If any arahant exists in the world, let him come and take this bowl." It was a challenge, a test, a spectacle waiting to happen. Piṇḍola did not speak. He did not hesitate. With the calm of one who knows no fear, he raised his hand, and with iddi lifted an entire mountain peak, or a colossal boulder, so vast it darkened the sky above the city. The earth shuddered. The air trembled. People stumbled back, screaming, "My lord, hold the mountain steady, or if it falls, we will all be crushed. Sadhu, sadhu, don't let it drop." Even Mahamoggalana, master of psychic powers himself, stood still, watching with deep recognition. High above, Piṇḍola stood upon the floating rock, not to seize the bowl, but to reach its height. And then something remarkable happened. The rich man, trembling, climbed down the pole himself. He took the bowl in his own hands, not forced, not commanded, but moved by awe, by faith, by the sheer weight of truth before him. He stepped forward, fell to his knees, and placed the bowl gently into Piṇḍola's hands, saying, "Take it, my lord, it is yours. You are truly an arahant, no doubt, no question. I see now, this is not magic, this is truth made visible." Piṇḍola nodded. With a thought, he made the mountain vanish, not with a crash but with silence, returning it gently to its place far away, as if it had never moved. He descended softly, landing beside Mahamoggalana, unshaken, unmoved. The crowd erupted. "Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu," voices rising like a river in flood. But then, a few voices cut through the joy. "Do it again, show us once more, lift the hill, let us see the sky shake." More joined, the cries grew louder. Not devotion now, but demand, not reverence, but entertainment. The sacred moment was slipping into spectacle, and in that exact instant, the monastery gate opened. The Buddha stepped out, not with robes flaring, not with a stern face, but with the quiet gravity of one who sees what is at stake. Not Piṇḍola's worthiness, but the Dhamma itself, hanging by a thread. He walked calmly to the center of the crowd. All fell silent. He looked at Piṇḍola, not with blame, but with compassion, and asked gently, "Bhāradvāja, where did you obtain this bowl?" The elder bowed and recounted everything. The challenge, the mountain lifted, the people's fear, the donor's active surrender, climbing down, taking the bowl, offering it himself, the joyful cries. The Buddha listened. Then he spoke, his voice clear, unhurried, carrying the weight of infinite wisdom. "Monks, the Dhamma should not be made known by means of iddi. When a monk displays psychic power, some may gain faith, but many only see wonder and miss the truth entirely. They praise the miracle, yet never ask, what is suffering? What ends it? So Bhāradvāja, do not make the Dhamma known by iddi." He paused, then added the rule, not as punishment, but as protection. Any monk who displays idditi to lay people commits a dukkata offense. Vinaya pitaka mahavaga, no anger, no shame, only a father guiding his child away from a path that looks noble but leads away from liberation. Piṇḍola bowed deeply. He understood, because he knew, the greatest miracle is not moving mountains, but helping one heart see that there is no self to cling to, no suffering to fear, and no need to chase wonders, when the end of sorrow is already here. That is the sihanada, not a roar of sound, but a voice that cuts through illusion, and leaves only clarity.
This account is drawn directly from the Mahavagga and elaborated in the Samantapasadika. Key clarifications. Piṇḍola did not take the bowl. The donor climbed down, took it, and offered it. The Buddha's concern was pedagogical. Iddi often blocks Dhamma understanding, not moral failure. The rule is preventive, not punitive, to preserve the Saṅgha's role as teachers of liberation, not performers. As the commentary states, when people see iddi, they think how powerful, but rarely how true. Thus the door to nibbana remains closed. This is why the Buddha acted out of karuna, for Piṇḍola, for the donor, and for all future seekers.
And then the quietest miracle of all. Another time he met an old friend, a Brahmin clinging to wrong views. The man suspected, he wants my alms, he's hungry. But Piṇḍola knew his thoughts, and he spoke, not with argument, but with verse from Theragatha commentary. This life is fleeting, it won't last. Not by starving yourself, nor by indulging in food, does the heart find true peace. I found peace not in what I ate or avoided, but in seeing clearly. Suffering arises and ends when craving stops. So now I walk the path, simply, steadily, wisely. As for all those offerings people make, the flowers, the gifts, the prayers, the truly wise see them like mud on the road, easy to wash away. And if the heart is still unkind, even reverence becomes hollow, like a beautiful vase, empty inside. The Brahmin fell silent, then tears, then understanding, deep, unshakable. Faith was born, not from coercion, but from clarity.
After the Buddha's parinibbana, Piṇḍolabhāradvāja helped preserve the Dhamma at the first council. He lived many decades after teaching, guiding, embodying the Sihanada as fearless truth-telling, not loudness. He passed away in Rajagaha, in deep meditation, entering parinibbana with no regret, no fear. Apadana, Thirapadana, Paramathadipani. His legacy? Not just a title, but a living invitation. If you seek the truth boldly, honestly, the path is open, and someone will say, "Ask me."
Piṇḍolabhāradvāja, foremost in the excellent loud voice, presided at the first Saṅgha council. His roar still echoes. Whoever doubts, ask me. Puna grows where truth is spoken, clearly, kindly, courageously. May we hear the voice of the Venerable Piṇḍolabhāradvāja, not just as sound, but as a call to awaken. May we know, with certainty, the path Magga exists, the fruition Phala is real, Nibbana, the unshaken peace, is attainable. And may the Puna we cultivate through generosity, virtue, and wisdom carry us step by step toward liberation, whether as a stream enterer, once returner, non-returner, or arahant, or at least to a life of clarity, kindness, and inner stillness. May all beings near and far walk safely on this ancient road and one day hear their own Sihanada, the fearless roar of truth within.